All right, guys, top of the morning. Happy June 1st. I cannot believe we are 6 months into 2026. Coming to you feeling really good, excited about this next half of the year. Today, if you were driving, if you were in motion, I get it. I understand. You might want to come back to this. Today, we're going to do some reflection. I'm going to encourage you to write some things down, or if not, just remember these, or just come back to this recording and watch it. And I'm going to ask you and encourage you to take some notes today, because today is solely going to be about you and really looking back at the last 6 months. And if you're newer and you started within the last couple months, maybe you haven't been here for the whole year, I still want you to reflect. I want you to look back at the things that you are doing, things that you have not done, and get very, very clear on what you're going to create for the next part of this year. Now, before we get rolling, you guys, I'm not going to make this all about production. Zen is on the call today, and I want to give him a huge shout out. He just got into contract for his very first time. Zen, remind everybody, first off, how amazing your hair is. Zen, how old are you, big dog?
I'm 19.
19 years old. Ask yourself what you guys were doing at 19 years old. I remember what I was doing at 19 years old and wasn't hustling like Zen is hustling. And so it's just been really great to see how you're showing up, and see like the commitment, no matter what. We gave him lead certification. Lead certification is a self-paced program. He did it in like 3 days. So shout out to you, Zen. We see you, big dog. Congratulations. If you need any support from us getting that deal across the finish line, please let us know. But really, really stoked for you, big dog. So congratulations on your very first official escrow. How you feeling?
Um, it's pretty cool. Like I got
Man, tell
I
you what,
want
bro.
more. I mean, I want more deals though. So
Of course you do. Of course you
yeah.
do. And that's what's great about you, man. You're tenacious. You're excited about this business, and you remind me so much of Kuhn. So let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. TT, I'm going to turn it over to you, my friend. I'm going to have you bring us out of the field, set the tone, set the sentiment. Got your hair done, got your big earrings on. So go ahead, take the mic and do your thing.
Wow. Okay. Sure. Happy Monday. Happy June 1st. It is, what is it, 6 months into the year. So I think a big change needs to happen. I did a lot of reflection this weekend, spent a lot of good time with my son, and I did that intentionally because it is June 1st and I want to turn up the notch this week. So I think we all should turn up the notch. It's turn up the heat rather. I feel like because it's warm, it's going to be easier to do open houses now, out there in the sunshine where people are looking, more friendships to be made, more connections, and more clients to be had.
Mm, something about the sunshine, right? Even in the markets where it's a little bit hotter, it's just something about it that really speaks and serves the soul. So I definitely appreciate that. And I saw you and your son out there smiling over the weekend. So really, really cool. And then yeah, is was your son the photographer?
Yeah, I said, look, you're going to learn how to hold this camera while I walk around this house.
I love it. He takes better pictures than Larissa. Larissa's 21.
Yeah, we went and looked at a house for a client, and I was like, well, you got to get used to it since you're always with me anyways. Might as well learn how to hold the camera.
Let's go. Let's go. All right, guys. Can I get a commitment from everybody on the call today? Can I get a commitment from everybody on the call? Before I even give you what the commitment is, can I just get one of these or one of these? Listen, I just want everybody to play full out today. I'm going to ask you guys some questions. I'm going to get you guys to hopefully get involved in the conversation. But what I don't want is I don't want a bunch of radio silence today. I want us to really look back at the last 6 months. And if you see a question or something sparks something in your mind, your heart, your soul, and you'll be like, you know what, Elias, I'm going to jump in on this one. Jump in. And I also want to encourage you right now, today, on this beautiful start of June, I want to encourage you, if you have never raise your hand. If you're always the person in the background, not saying anything, I want to encourage you today to get involved in the conversation. It is scary. It is nerve wracking. I get it, you guys. It's uncomfortable, but that's what this group is all about. So I want to encourage the people that are in the cuts to throw their hand up and get engaged in the conversation. Now, I also want to say thank you to everybody that always continues to contribute at a very, very high level. I see you, I appreciate you, and thank you guys for all of your contributions. So, like I said, today we're going to reflect. TT, you kind of set the tone. You really set it up correctly because that's what it is. It's June 1st. I cannot believe that we're 6 months into this year. Silas will be 8 this month, and it is wild just to think how fast time is flying by. And Angelo's kind of getting out of that like newborn phase. Like he's still, I mean, it's obviously 2 weeks, but like his features are starting to change. His face is starting to fill out. But this fool is hungry every 12 minutes. But nonetheless, it is going to be an amazing, amazing summer. So let me pull up my slides here and let's go here and go present. All right, guys. So welcome. If you're a guest here, welcome to Keep It Moving Group Coaching. This is where we believe in the power of the collective wisdom. Thank you for being here and thank you for being present. So we're going to look at the scoreboard, and what we're going to do is we're going to look back at the last 6 months, and the scoreboard does not lie. And if you're on this call, I often think that a couple things happen when we ask tough questions about conversations, appointments, videos, how you showed up on social media, did you knock doors, all these things. We have two different reactions. One of the reactions is, oh shit, hopefully he doesn't count on me or call on me. And then the second reaction is, bring it on, coach. I'm ready. I'm excited to share with you my scorecard, my scoreboard, what I've been doing, because reflection creates awareness, awareness creates adjustment, and adjustment creates growth. So let's go right into the conversation for the day. Let's talk about personal growth. I want you guys to look at yourself over the last 6 months, and I want you to ask yourself, like, who have I become this year? As we start out in a new year, 2026, we tell ourselves, well, I'm going to achieve this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be this. Well, oftentimes we have to grow. We have to shed layers of ourselves. We have to get over our own ego. We have to get over our own doubt. We have to get over our own fear. So it takes a little bit of work before we get to the production stuff. We got to do a little bit of tuning up on ourselves. So what habits have you strengthened this year? I look around the room and I could see people that have worked on their calendar, have worked on their communication skills, have worked on the way that they show up, their morning routine. What habits have you strengthened personally? And what habits continue to sabotage you? When you think about the things that you've worked on a positive level, well, on the flip side of that, what are the things that you're doing right now that are not truly serving your growth? And listen, be honest with yourself. We all have those things, but you got to be honest with yourself in order to fix it, repair, and move forward. Where are you more disciplined today than January 1st? When you look back at the last 6 months, my hope is that you've made some adjustments, that you've raised the level of intensity in life, business, health, and relationships. Where have you become more disciplined? What promises have you kept to yourself? Where do you deserve a pat on the back and praise and grace and all glory to the things that you've been able to stay disciplined to in your life, business, health, and relationships? And then lastly, what promises have you broken, right? What promises have you broken? It could be, I promised myself I'm going to make X amount of calls. I promised myself I'm going to get on social. I promised myself I'm going to clean up my database. Whatever it is, I promised myself I'll get up earlier, go to the gym, walk 2 miles a day. I don't care what it is. But like I said early on, I got a commitment from you guys. I want 1 to 3 people to grab the mic and answer any of these questions, whatever spoke to you when hearing these questions. I want you guys to speak up. And so let me pause for a second. Who's going to grab the mic and be the first person to talk? And Philip, thank you, my brother. You take whatever question you want. Jeff, you'll be on deck, and then Deep Bledsoe, and then we'll shift gears in the car. Okay, cool. I got Brandon up too. I like this. Let's go. All right, gentlemen, way to show up early on a Monday morning. Let's go, Phil.
Yeah, I'll start off with the first question. Who have I become this year? And that is someone that's focused on transition. I came from the medical field where I had mastered my craft while also realizing that there's room to still learn and grow. And I'm taking that into this with real estate, and I love it so far. I love that I can transition into something where I can create my own schedule, where I can meet my clients whenever and wherever, take my lunch whenever, wherever, and I don't have to ask anyone for permission. So I am loving that. I'm loving where I'm at in life right now, and even though I'm still working on my first few leads and transactions, I just love the the transitional phase.
Philip, what I love about this, man, is that you're coming from a completely different industry, which most of us are. Real estate wasn't well, for most people, maybe Zen not, but for most of us, this wasn't our first job. But in the medical field is super process driven. Everything is a process, right? Well, it's similar to this. So if you could take those skills and what you learned for years and years in the medical field and create your process, repeatable process over and over and over again, my friend, that's a skill that transfers well into this game, man. So I appreciate you. And you know what I appreciate about you is that you just continuously show up. Right? You're like, I don't have all the answers, but I'm figuring some things out. But I know this. I'm just going to show up and be present. And you've done that. So, my friend, really, really good stuff. I appreciate you sharing.
you.
Jeff, you're up next. And then we'll go to D. Bledsoe and then Brandon. And then we'll get to Jabbar and Jessica. Let's go, Jeff. And I'll push
Yeah,
this
well,
back on the board.
26 has been definitely a transition. I mean, there's something that sticks with me a lot. It's and you guys have probably heard this: the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. And just with the transitions that I've gone through this year and refocusing, pivoting, changing, it's just been a little bit of a, not a rebirth, but just a refocus on things that are important in my life, personally and work, and doubling down on the habits I need in order to be successful. And I have read a great book recently. It's called, and it's a short one. Maybe we've read it over the last few years, but The Go Giver. And just as a, really just kind of resets your mind in terms of what needs to be, what you need to accomplish and the things that will make you successful. So instead of chasing it. So yeah, it's been an interesting year and a lot of fun and a lot of excitement. I'm looking forward to the second half.
Man, Jeff, I really, really appreciate that, man. Good stuff. And I appreciate you being here and consistently being here and consistently providing value. Let's go deep. I'll put the questions back up on the board, Big Dog. Let's go to you, my friend. Which one stood out for you?
The question that stood out to me was, what promises have you kept to yourself? And this year, what started in November of last year, I made a lifestyle choice to abstain from certain habits that I had, and got a lot of clarity from that, and refocused. And then on top of that, this year, I was committed to working open houses, and it's really made a difference in my business as well. And also just like putting me more in the mode of being a realtor 24/7, because like when you're not constantly in the business, your mind isn't always focused on it. So just even if I have an empty open house, the fact that I'm sitting there for 3 hours on Saturday and Sunday, I'm in the mode. And this has just made a huge difference on how I feel about the business and how I've been showing up and the results. So yeah.
Man, I really appreciate that. And on that top part of the conversation, sometimes we have to abstain. Sometimes we have to choose a new lifestyle. I mean, years and years ago, I chose to not have alcohol in my life, and it was probably the best thing that I did. But for me, it just wasn't manageable, right? I just couldn't manage a life as an entrepreneur, as a leader, as a coach, as a father, as a husband, and have that in my life. So I appreciate you, man. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being personal. Let's go to Brandon. Brandon, I think this is going to be the second time him speaking up on coaching, but I appreciate you, man, getting involved in the conversation. Let's go, B. What do you got?
Yeah, like for me, it's what I became this in the last 6 months is a realtor. You know what I mean? It's like I forgot the gentleman who spoke first, but coming from a completely different field. I mean, I've been working in a truck since I was 16, 17 years old, and now it's just at the beginning of this year, I decided I hated it at the beginning. You know what I mean? I never wanted to be a truck driver, but that's just kind of what the cards gave me. And I became great at it. And I looked in the mirror and decided I hated it, so it's time to do something else, trying to get my personality back, something that allows me to be, a human with humans, as opposed to just out there with zombies at 3 o'clock in the morning in Oakland. You know what I mean? And the promises that I've made to myself is I'm super introverted now, where I wasn't always. And so like going to those meetings, like even though the one that we had on Friday, like it was like, I'm going to do it no matter how uncomfortable I am. I'm going to do it. And at the beginning of it, like when Princess stood up and she talked, she gave a great presentation. And I mean, that whole time you guys might as well have been speaking Chinese, because I had no idea what the hell was going on. And then, like you said, by the third, fourth slide, I was like, I got this now. And I was, like you said, I hope he calls on me, because I'm ready for this one. And, obviously it didn't happen, but like, I feel like I grew so much just in that, like an hour and a half, 2 hours. and I really like. I even like the first thing I did was I called my old lady. Like I was super nervous to even to do anything real estate related until after that, and now I left there feeling like this is for me, and I got it, and now I know what the hell we're
Oh,
supposed to be doing. You know what I mean?
let's go, B, man. I appreciate that, man. No more hanging out with the zombies in Oakland, man. Do your thing, express yourself. It's funny, like, he's like, I wasn't always an introvert, but then I spent some time by myself, but with the zombies, I became a little bit of an introvert. Man, this business allows you freedom to just create, to express, and be the person that you are. So, bro, really, really powerful message. I'm so glad that you got on the mic this morning. Let's go, Jessica Segura Hernandez, then Jabbar, and then we're going to shift gears in the conversation. Let's go, Jessica.
Good morning. Man, that is so real. When you spend so much time with yourself, you become an introvert because that happens to me sometimes too. But can I please see the questions?
Yes. All right. Survey says, please show the questions. Here you go, my friend.
Okay. Uh, okay. So for me, what habits have strengthened? So I want to say that I've become more consistent with social media after our coaching call. I feel like I've gotten more clarity on what I need to do, and social media has been one of my rocks lately where I need to have a video. If I don't have anything recorded, I have to schedule a day out of the week and record like 5 videos or so I have it ready. And not only that, I've been working a lot on branding and just like creating an identity for myself. I hired a like a marketing manager, and she's just been helping me with with branding, creating a website, a new logo, and just trying to help me figure out who I am. Sorry, and who I'm serving.
I love it, Jessica. And I love how you have looked at things in your business and said, you know what? Those are things that I want to stay more consistent with. And you've declared that
Mhm.
and you've actually put it into motion. And so really great to see everything that you are building and growing and how you're evolving in this business and being self-reflective. Really good stuff, Jessica. Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Elias.
Let's go to our guest, Jabbar. Jabbar, give me a thought and give me a question answered on these. I'll throw these back up for you so you got it, big dog. Let's roll.
So my thing that I've changed from the beginning of the year is communication. Before I was not too I wasn't really stable with communication. Like I would just if I didn't feel like there was a need to respond, I just wouldn't respond. Or and then I would just reach out whenever I felt like it was necessary. But now and I wouldn't make it a priority to respond to people, but I have learned in the past that responding to people fast shows respect, and when it shows respect to when it shows that you respect them, now they have a little bit more respect for you and they trust you and the things that you say. And so I think that that's definitely helped me out a lot. So that was the answer to the question. But you said an idea or my thoughts on
No,
like
no,
other
no, no.
things.
That's perfect, bro. That's
Oh,
perfect,
okay.
man. And I appreciate you sharing here. Once again, you guys, Jabbar's a guest. He's here. Nobody says you've got to be here at this time. This is an open platform. And so I really appreciate you being here and I also appreciate your contribution. So let's do
And
this.
I'm
Go
on
ahead.
vacation. I'm in a hotel right now.
Oh, nice, bro. Where are you at?
Ohio.
Okay, very cool, my friend. Very cool. All right, guys. Now, I want you to rank yourself, and this is important. Health and energy, score yourself on a rate of 1 to 10. Physical health, mental health, emotional health, sleep, nutrition, exercise, and stress management. It's really, really important that you guys are looking at these things and saying, you know what? If I'm a 2 on sleep, if I'm a 2 on exercise, if I'm a non-existent on exercise, I need to make sure that I tune that up for the next part of the year. I need to make sure that that is well above 5 to make sure that I have the energy, the vitality, and I have the dopamine release and everything that exercise does for us in order to carry on and to build and to grow. If you're not sleeping enough, you're not tracking your sleep, get yourself an Aura ring. If you guys aren't just moving, if you guys aren't working on your emotional health, if that means go to therapy, or if that means that sit in stillness and relax and meditate, or sit in faith, if you're a faith person, whatever it is, making sure that these numbers are elevating. So rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10 in those categories. And if you want to share by the end of the call, let's do so. So let's continue on. Professional growth. Now, you guys obviously come to coaching. There's other masterminds that are out there. There's events that you guys are traveling to. And so what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to look at your, sorry, we'll talk about events next. Let's talk about your business. And what I want you to do is I want you just to look at your review of your GCI year to date. Like, what have you actually made in top line revenue? Now, if you're brand new, that's still in the works, but you can at least get an accurate depiction of, well, who am I showing homes to? Do I have a pipeline of people that I'm showing homes to? And if so, you add up all of the price points of those people times 2.5%, which will give you your top line projected revenue, which is GCI. Transactions closed. How many transactions did you close this year? When you set out your goal in October of last year, when we all did business planning, when you set out the year and you said, I'm going to do 20 deals, like, where are you at? Where are you at? Are you ahead of your goal? Are you behind? Is it non-existent? Like, be real with yourself. How many listings have you taken? Buyers have you signed? What's pending? What's in your pipeline? And what's in the projected pipeline? Like I said. Now, here's the questions for you. Are you ahead or are you on pace? What activities created the most business and what activities produce little or no return? Just be very, very clear on the things that are actually driving your business forward. This is an opportunity for you to review. Now, you're either going to make some adjustments or you're going to double down, meaning you're going to make adjustments because things just aren't working for you. So maybe it is a skill challenge. Maybe it's an articulation challenge. Maybe it's a rhythm challenge. Maybe it's a language challenge in the way that you don't have authoritative language. So it's a time to analyze ourselves in order for us to smoke the next 6 months. So be very, very clear on this part of your review. Now, when you guys look at your follow-up boss, every single person on here has access to follow-up boss if they're associated with our team. Now, if you don't, you do have access to a CRM with whatever your brokerage provides. And if your brokerage does not provide that, then spend that money on your own because it is necessary. But if you can look at this here, and let's just say that this is you, and I've done this exercise in the past, but I want you guys to know that in your CRM follow-up boss, there's a section that says deals. What you can do is you can track every appointment set, every appointment met, buyer and contract, offers written. Well, let's just say these are all the people, appointment met, that you've actually gone on an appointment with. Maybe they haven't closed yet, but it's all right. We know we're going to get there sooner or later. If that total amount of appointments set that I went on was 160, now this is a large scale, and I times that by 2.5%, that, my friends, gives you what your projected GCI is based on the amount of people that you're showing homes to. You see, this is not an agent mentality. You see, an agent mentality works very, very well in the pocket. You guys got to look big picture, projections, forecasts. You have to look at your pipeline right now and say, do I have enough money to feed my family? Do I have enough money in my pipeline to provide for myself and for my kids and for the people that I love most in the way that I truly, truly want to? And if not, then you have the solution. I don't think that you need to come to coaching in order for you to know that, man, I need to prospect a little bit more. I'll help you with the mechanics of it. Maybe I'll help you with the mindset of it. But at the end of the day, each of you know exactly what to do. Let's go a little bit further. Let's go into the conversations. You see, everything that's going to happen in business, in this business, is going to be derived from your ability to have the most amount of conversations. Some of you close at a higher level. Some of you are just learning. And so this is going to be something that obviously you can look back at and see how well am I performing. So what I want you to do is I want you to look at how many conversations you've had this year with your sphere, with leads that you've gotten from the company or other resources, buyer consultations, listing consultations, open house conversations, people that you met in the community, from farmers market, from events that you go to with inside of your city. I want you to look at those things. Well, Elias, how do I track those? You track all of that in your CRM so you can actually pull up some data and see how many conversations are you actually having that are actually serving your bottom line of getting closer to production. And then reflection. Did your conversations match your goals so far this year? And if not, what stood in the way? Like I said last week, I want to remove the question of why versus in the realm of possibility, could you have? And most of you are going to say, well, absolutely. Well, then what stood in your way? And most of the time, my friends, I'll be honest and real with everybody. It is not the market. It's not anything other than yourself. We are the biggest challenge in our business. Once again, I'll say this for the people in the back of the room. We do not have business problems. We have personal problems that show up in our business. Inconsistency, lack of routine, a bad mindset, bad habits, all those things show up in our business. Let's move to the next section. Remember, the marketplace pays for, pays for conversations. No conversations, no appointments, no appointments, no contracts, no income. You have a responsibility every day to go out and have conversations with people that are willing to buy and sell. And whether or not they're ready now, 6 months, 3 months, 1 year, it's our responsibility to continuously have prospects to filter through the people that, based on life situations, they're ready to go. That's our responsibility, you guys, on a daily basis. Now, let's continue on here. In the vein of conversations, what I did is I pulled up some stats directly from Follow Up Boss. As you guys can see, the stats show how much production is happening with inside of the database. I didn't say conversion, I said production with inside of the database. So you guys have to look at that and say, how much time am I actually logging within Follow Up Boss, within my CRM of choice? You see Kelly, Otis, and Stray are in the top 3. What's great about this is that you can see how many appointments are scheduled, how many conversations. Excuse me, I'm choking. How many times they've made phone calls, what's done in their calendar, how many emails, text messages, so on and so forth. And then we can look a little bit further. Lisa, Oliver, Gary, Brandy, Jose, Eric King. So I want you guys to know that the CRM, whatever CRM you choose, is going to be an accurate depiction of how well you're actually moving the needle in your business. Oh, I don't use the CRM. Well, you should probably start, because the data is going to tell the story. Because if Otis has a ton of activity and maybe we're not seeing the production, well, then maybe there's a challenge there. Maybe we can go in and be like, all right, let's listen to some of these calls. Let's look at what you're writing. Well, if you don't create a body of work that you could then later analyze, then you're shooting yourself short. So I want to make sure that you guys really, really lean into your CRM as we move into the next 6 months of this year. You're going to love me for this one. Content creation audit. I want you just to pause for a second, okay? You're either going to ask yourself right now, ask yourself this really simple question. How have I showed up on social media this year? You have either showed up consistently or your brand is non-existent, right? You see, you guys, it really it eats me up. It eats me up if I don't put something on social media. I'm consciously looking and constantly looking for things to be able to post on social media, how to create, what to do, what to say, how to put different messages across, what new carousels am I going to create, what baby content I'm going to create, because I'm in my baby phase or my baby content creation era. So I want you guys to look at this and I want you guys to ask yourself some very simple questions. So let's go into this. This year alone, how much content have you actually created? And do the scorecard for yourself. How many reels have you created on an average? How many posts have you created? Stories, emails sent, open house promoted, community events shared? And did your content educate? Did it entertain? Did it inspire? And did it create any type of conversations for you? Well, the one thing that I know is that if done consistently over time, you will start to get traction. If you're just starting out in your content journey, it's going to take a little bit of time. You're going to take some L's and some knocks on the chin, but that's part of being a creator. It's going to happen over time. You make some adjustments. You see what people like. You'll be surprised at what people like versus what you thought people would like. And then you start to analyze and you get better. So I want you guys to look at your production. And I'm going to pull up mine here because I want to make sure that I am a mirror for you guys and I'm going to hold myself accountable. Look back at the last 6 months. I pulled up reels, stories, and some of the highest performing content. What I want you to do is I want you to look at yours as well. I want you to go back. I went back the last 90 days. How many people are seeing my content? Well, content in the last 90 days has been seen by more non-followers than actual followers. So that means that I am getting out in the algorithm to new people, which essentially will serve my goal of organic growth on social media. And so when you think about this, you each have a dashboard. All you do is you go into your insights and you look at your dashboard. Do you have something worthy of reporting? Or when you look at your dashboard, like, damn, I don't have anything. I have no numbers to report because I haven't put myself out there and started creating. You see, I want to be a model for you guys. I'm not perfect, but I'm consistent. I'm not perfect any way, shape, or form, but I'm just going to be consistent over time to show you guys what is possible. I started out with 0 followers as well. Started out with 0 followers. So I wanted to share this with you so you guys can get very, very clear on what your numbers are. Let's move into learning and development. How many books have you read this year? Maybe it's podcasts you're listening to. How many trainings have you gone to? How many coaching sessions have you attended this year? And have you got any certifications? When you started out the year, did you get your certification to serve the seniors? Is it listing certification? Is it luxury certification? What is the certification that you've gotten? And what knowledge changed your behavior? And what have you done with that? Meaning, like, what knowledge have you implemented? Because if you haven't taken that knowledge that you've implemented from the books, the events, from coaching, from seminars, at the end of the day, it was just entertainment. It was just entertainment. And so before we go to you guys and get some interaction from you, I want you to do a financial audit. I want you to look at your gross income in 2026, your net income. Have you saved any money? Have you invested money? Have you reduced any debt? And do you have money set aside in case of an emergency? If you, my friend, get sick or somebody in your family gets sick, do you have some reserves? Do you have financial runway? And then, is your money growing? Is your money spending aligned with your goals? And what financial decisions are you most proud of this year? Like, be real with yourself. Maybe you paid off something. Maybe you paid off that car. Maybe you paid down a credit card debt. Maybe you paid for a vacation that you're going to go to in December. Like, what was it? We're going to come to you guys in just a second. And then the hard questions. Here's the hard questions for everybody. As you look back at the last 6 months, what did you avoid? What excuses did you make? What are you tolerating in your life, in your business, in your health, in your relationships? What lessons keep showing up? Where are you playing small? Where do you know that you can give this game more? What conversation do you need to have? And what decision have you delayed in your business? Well, I have a decision to do this, but I've given myself way too much time, and I've been talking about that shit for 6 months. Where have you delayed in your decision making? And then the second half plan. You guys, the second half plan is really, really easy. Stop. And I want you to write this down. Stop. What must you stop immediately? Stop the procrastination. Stop the bullshit. Stop guessing on yourself. And start. What needs to begin right now? I need to make sure that 2 hours a day, 1 hour a day, shit, give me 30 minutes a day of income producing activities. That needs to start today and continue. Well, what's working for me, like Jessica said, is her consistency on social media, right? Demian said his consistency in doing open houses and showing up as a realtor everywhere he goes, that's working for him. Maybe continue working in your CRM like Otis, like Slade, like Lisa Torres, like Kelly, and then double down on what is actually producing results. If you're smoking it at open houses, or your videos are performing at a high level, your property tours are winning at a high level, go all in. Go all in for this next part of the year. And then here's the closing exercise for everybody. You guys can take a picture of this. You guys can write this down. This is important, but reflect back on the last 6 months. The biggest win of my first 6 months was this. The biggest lesson of my first 6 months was this. The biggest mistake that I made in the first part of the year, the person I need to become during the next 6 months. And by December 31st, 2026, I will be proud because this, and this. You guys, this is a time where as we walk into the second half of the year, you guys can put yourself in a position to make $200,000 in the next 6 months. Have I seen it done? I've seen it done time and time and time again. But it's going to be dependent on you. It's going to be dependent on you guys. And so the first 6 months are gone. We don't get them back. The beautiful news is that the next 6 months remain. You don't need a new year. You don't need a new standard. Just look in the mirror, my friends. Own the wins, own the losses, own the lessons, and then stand up. Recommit to this business that you said you loved, that you did all the work to be in, And then we always keep it moving towards our dreams, goals, and vision. And I'm going to stop you guys because this is our opportunity to unpack this conversation and make sure that you guys have clarity, that you guys walk into this next half of the year with some bravado, with some swag, with an understanding of where I dropped the ball in my business and what I am unwilling to do moving forward. I set a new standard for myself, new principles, new behaviors, and that's how I operate moving forward. And I never deviate. You see, never deviate. You guys, this routine of coaching, preparation, calendaring, you guys, it's boring and monotonous. The morning routine, I putter around. It is water, it is coffee, it's a little baby time, it's a little news, but it is the same routine over and over and over again that has been the core of what sets my week off, sets my morning off. So I want to go to you guys. I want to get some questions, thoughts, contributions, insights on the conversation. Would love to hear from you guys. I'm also going to share this stack in the chat down below. That way you guys have it and you guys could come back to this. But let's get some hands up. Let's get some people involved in the conversation. Once again, you guys, I want to hear from you. And while I do this, I'm going to share this in the chat down below. That way you guys can come back to this. So who has some thoughts, contributions, insight? Okay, cool. Love it. Let's go to Glenn Riggs with his new haircut. Let's go, big dog. What do you got for us?
Oh,
There you are.
like
Glenn?
the slide before no point. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, now we
Can
can
you
start. It broke up for a little bit.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that. So let's share about no appointments, no conversations, no appointments, no appointments. Right? It was talking about like what we give, and um, Lindsay said it brilliantly last week when she said, what I give is multiplied in life and business. And many of us think that, oh, I donate, I give to charities, I do for others. But if you give negativity, that shit matters too. And that gets multiplied. So, like, as I go into the next 6 months, it's really about thinking about that mindset and make sure that I am thinking in a positive way, because that's multiplied.
Mm. Yeah, man. I absolutely love that. Really, really good stuff. I appreciate your contribution. Good stuff. Let's go to Lisa Torres, and then we'll get through all the other hands. Lisa Torres, what do you have for us, my friend?
I'm hoping my business snowballs from today forward because I, as you can see, have been doing the work. But it's been super frustrating. Um, I have lots in the pipeline. And I did do a certification on probate. I did go and talk to a local senior center. I'm planning on getting on their calendar for the third quarter to do a workshop for them. So just, like Dee says, work until it works. That's what I'm trying to do.
Lisa, if you were to if you were just to cast the net over the group right now and say, this is some help or support that I feel that I need right now from this group, what would it be so we can best show up for you and be in your corner?
Um, send me some partner leads. I don't know.
So, send me some partner leads. Okay, are you currently on Zillow?
I am.
Okay, all right,
I've
cool.
had some great appointments this last week. I met with somebody who was looking for a generational home on Friday, and they might sell their home just down the street. It's probably, you know, almost 2 million there in GCI, um, and this weekend I spoke to two really promising buyer leads at my Berkeley open house. So, I mean, and I have two people that are pre-approved and looking right now. So they got pre-approved with Cheyenne with ZHL. It's
Beautiful.
it's in the
I,
work.
I feel like
Hello.
I feel like you're doing all the work. The biggest challenge for all of us is knowing that we're doing all this work and just it maybe hasn't popped off, but I believe like you're right there at that cusp. You're right there at that cusp where these things are just going to start popping. And I feel like now that summertime is here, the sun is out, more leads are going to be coming in, phone's going to be ringing, more people at open houses. If you can weather this storm of like, oh, I just wish they would move a little bit faster, my friend. If you can handle what's between the ears right now, I think that you're going to be fine because we see you doing all the work. If you need any support, get on my calendar. If you want to do more of a one-on-one style coaching, get on my calendar. I'd love to be able to help you out any way that I can. Okay. So I appreciate you throwing your hand up. Let's go, Princess.
All right. Good morning, everybody. I just know obviously this year started off a little differently and I wasn't expecting to go through what I went through. But I'm excited to be back. And so I just know the things that I need to work on and the daily habits that I need to do. Elias, I'll be booking an appointment on your calendar this week so that I can get some more insight on some things that I want to work on. But knowing that showing up on social media really works. The last video I posted, it's reminding me of when I was in intensity and the amount of reactions that you get. So just being present and just constantly doing the work, I think is the biggest thing. And yeah, it can get boring, but like it's gonna move that needle. So just working on that.
Man, I appreciate it. And you've came back to this game and like you've fully committed, right? You fully committed to showing up, driving into the bay. You're having a lot of fun in between, but you're like you're fully committed to your business and it shows, my friend. So really good stuff, Princess. I appreciate you. Let's go to Michelle Figueroa. Good to see you. What do you got? Thoughts, reflections, insights on the conversation. By the way, you guys, I dropped the deck down below. So if you want to come back to this, you want to print that out, you want to do some work, you want to sit and light a candle and listen to a record and do this work, please do so. Let's go, Michelle.
I just wanted to touch on one of the slides that I saw, and it was what was one of the biggest lessons of my first 6 months of the year.
Yeah.
And I just put off making a decision that I needed to make for a really long time, and it really affected my business. And so I can't afford to do that again. So just being proactive about what I need to do and just doubling down on the habits that I've implemented over the last couple of weeks, and just really sticking to it. So I just need to, stick to the grind and double down.
And also, this is a really good lesson for you just to say, next time that I feel in my heart, my intuition is saying I need to make a change, I need to do it faster and speed to execution. So it's a really healthy place to be in your business. And it's a really, smart place and it's out of awareness, right? Self-awareness. So Michelle, I appreciate your contribution. Let's go, Blessing. Blessing, what do you have for us, my friend? And what's it say on your shirt?
I have decided this is the shirt from when I got baptized 2 years ago that I just felt like that was what I was wearing today.
I mean, how fitting.
Exactly.
Like how fitting. So wonderful. Let's go.
There are no coincidences. And I think that every time that we come into this room and all of the conversations that we have, I don't believe in coincidences anymore. I think that everything is lining up to put you in situations where if you can be still, and the thing that I wrote down that has been my biggest takeaway through this last 6 months, because I have taken a completely different path, is to face the mirror. Truly, truly look at yourself and ask the hard questions, and not looking for an answer to judge yourself, but to see the facts of it. There was something that you shared earlier where it's not, I lost where I wrote it, when you showed the follow-up boss pipeline to look at the projections of our business, and that is for clarity. It's not a judgment to say like, oh, these people are just sitting here and you're not doing it. It's so that you can have clarity on what to do next. So I say all of that to say that, what Lindsay said and what Glenn reiterated is that what you give out multiplies. And if you have any ounce of doubt, and I'm truly saying this so I can hear it for myself, because I know that I've always put out the positivity and I can say the things to move someone to the next place. But when I really sat down to face the mirror, it was saying superficial. I wasn't resting enough or being still enough to hear, and I can't even say still enough. I wasn't being still, period, to allow what I was learning to sink in and actually create the change in my life so that I can act, so that I can speak with confidence. So really taking the time in these conversations to hear what you need to hear. Not everything will resonate, but when you pick up one thing that lands for you personally, emotionally, for your business, like sit there and chew on it. Don't just go to the next thing, because you do yourself a disservice if you don't like sit with it and be really, really honest with what you're hearing. Everything works out to put you in the situation of what you need to do to move forward. And for my girl, Lisa, you are planting so many seeds. Your hustle is on another level. We see you, we support you, girl. You are about to blow up. Like, just keep your head in it. There is nothing that you're not doing. It is just a matter of time. And if I say nothing else, girl, Lisa, you are on fire. Keep going.
Let's go. Let's go. Blessing, I'm just sitting here in like shock, like the shirt that you're wearing, how much that applies to everything that we're talking about today, right? Like I made a decision to be successful in this game, right? But I make that decision one time. I made that decision, and now everything moving forward is derived from that choice of I've made a decision. And so I have decided. I know that was faith-based for you, but I think that's such a powerful, powerful, set of words to hang on to. And so Blessing, yeah, not a coincidence at all. I appreciate your contribution per usual. Let's go, Kia McGee. What do we have, my friend?
Good morning, guys. It's the first of the month. So I need to get on your calendar. First off, I have been so quiet lately, believe it or not. All the bullshit that I put out on social media, it's very, very quiet for me. And it's only because I've been in reflection, right? So this last 6 months, like, I'm gonna be real with y'all, I have not gotten into any deals or anything like that. And I think it's because I've just been trying to figure stuff out, right? So I'm running a nonprofit. I'm trying to get that to blow up, my renovation, and then the real estate stuff. My goal really is to start doing stuff out here on the Central Coast. I want to get Team Fast out here at some point. You know what I mean? So I want people to kind of like hear us, see us, because they know us all in the Bay Area. I just don't know where to start yet. And I don't know if maybe, just maybe, like today was so fitting. Oh my God, like this is amazing. Like all this stuff that we're talking about it's perfect. It's so perfect because it's the second half of the year. It's the beginning of the year. It's the first of the month. But yeah, so that's just for me. So I think, Coach, I don't want to commit. And that is the one thing that I did learn since I have been on the fast team is that don't commit if you're not going to fucking follow through. You know what I'm saying? So I've been talking about it and I kind of like bring it up, but it's like I don't really want to commit just yet because I don't know if I have it in me to commit just yet. You know what I mean? So I feel like the first step I'm going to do is just get on your calendar and go through my follow-up bosses and get my shit together, on the real estate side. Because honestly, you guys, I know I'm going to make this shit fly out here. I just don't know how yet.
Okay. Kia, a couple things here. Like the fact that she said, I haven't yet commit because I know what comes after that, right? Now I'm held to a standard, right? I'm held to a standard. I said it, I declared it, I said commitment. Now, if you're anything like me, we don't take the word commitment lightly in all things, life, business, health, relationship. That word commitment is a rock that does not move. But to be conscious enough to say, Elias and group, I haven't made that commitment yet because maybe I just need a little bit more clarity. My friend, this is a really important place for you to be in your business. So yes, get on my calendar. Let's connect. Let's have that conversation. And my hope from our call is that you just get a little bit more clear on how you're going to build. Don't worry about the team being in that market, how you're going to build in that market with your name, with your brand and your identity, backed by one of the best teams in the industry. Okay. Starts with you, not us. All right, guys, let's go around the room. I appreciate you guys. Let's go around the room. Let's get some key thoughts, key takeaways from our time together today. I am going to go to my friend, Ashley. And I want to mention Ashley really quick because you guys, I'm always looking at things to create on social media. And I just took something that Ashley said the other day. But you guys, like, there is never a reason why I'm going to bring this up is because it doesn't always have to be something that you had authorship over. I'll just give you an example for this one. One of the most powerful speeches I've heard in a very long time from a coach, but I didn't say a damn word. And this was viewed by 62.9 of the people that viewed, the 5,300 people that viewed this were not people that follow me. And so, and I look at stuff like this, and I look at the thing we did with Ashley. Where's that taco one? Oh, right here. You're not. I literally just had some thoughts from something that Ashley had said the other day, but you guys, like, I'm just trying to always find stuff like this one, the Theo Vaughn, commentary. This was viewed 4,500 times. 80% of these people were not even our followers. So it's like, you guys, I'm always looking for things and trying new things and shooting my shot to see what's going to work. And I want to encourage the same to you. Eclectic on purpose. Eclectic on purpose is my thought process when creating social media, but it also creates variety. And one of the basic human needs is a sense of variety. And so I feel like that's what I'm providing for myself as well as for my audience. So Ashley, thank you for the inspiration, my friend. Let's go to you. Thoughts, contributions, and takeaways from our time together today.
Thank you. And I love all the baby videos, by the way. Everyone loves a good baby video. My key takeaway is what Kia just said about committing and being hesitant to do it before she had clarity. And the reason for that is that I find that we are the first to cancel promises on ourselves. Something better comes up, something more important for someone else. It looks like it's going to be better for our business, so we cancel on ourselves. What I have found is then you lose trust in yourself. And so if you take that pause and really think before you open your mouth to make that promise, and then no matter what, you keep it, that is how confidence builds. And that is where success comes from. So I just love that you said that.
Me too. Really, really landed for me. Let's go back up to TT. TT, you started off the session. Let's go to you. Key thought, key takeaway from our time together today. Let's roll.
Sure, there's a ton of key thought and takeaways here. I love hearing from everyone because I learn a lot. Gosh, I wrote so many notes down, but I think what really hits home is what you give out multiplies. I feel like I'm truly a positive person, especially in my Zumba class. I'm like Beyonce, and I get a lot of that positivity back. But when I look at some of I'll use this as an example, my ex-husband and how negative he was in our relationship. And I felt like I became a negative person myself, and that's just not me. So it is so true. What you give out multiplies back to you. So I think just moving forward with anything, I really need to just be my positive self because it's going to come back to me with my clients, my business, my friendships, all of my relationships. And it is so important who you surround yourself with.
Yeah, that's right. When in doubt, focus out, right? Like when in doubt, focus out. Like give your guys this positive light to this world. And I promise you, it will be reciprocated. You will get that light back to you. And so, you guys, I appreciate you. But what I want to encourage you to do post this call, once this conversation ends and we close our laptops or turn off our phone, I want you to grab that stack that I put in the chat down below and just come back to it and look at that stack. It's a Canva deck, print it out, have it on your phone, have it on the computer, wherever, and just look at those questions. Be like, okay, I want to make sure that I'm very, very clear. You guys are running a multi-million-dollar business, and I don't know how many more times I have to say that. You guys are running a multi-million-dollar business, and in a multi-million-dollar business, you're sitting in your own boardroom. And you're looking at your financials, you're looking at your projections, you're looking at your marketing plan, you're looking at your visibility online. You're looking at all your verticals and how we can reach more people. That's your responsibility. You're running a multi-million-dollar business. So allow this to not only reflect on you as a human and then from an identity basis, but all the things that are truly, truly driving your performance in this business, you guys. I'm here for support. And at the end of the day, I know if we can just stick to these things, be reflective, be conscious, and stay in motion and stay in action, we're going to win. We are going to win. And I know that only from experience. I know since 2020, when we started this team, what has been needed every single year and how I needed to show up. And I will continue to show up. And I want to push that to you guys. And I want to make sure that you guys always have a model and you guys have an example. So you guys, I'm going to do my part. I'm going to ask you guys to do your part. If you need anything this week, feel free to hit me up. On Friday, we're doing another buyer training in Oakland at headquarters from 12 to 2 for my Stockton people On the 16th, we're doing coffee and conversations, and we're going to pick a really cool place. And then next month, I'm going to come out to Fairfield and we're going to do a coffee and conversations right at Journey's Coffee. We're just going to have coffee on me. We're going to have conversations about life, business, health, whatever, and everything in between. I'll put that on the calendar as well. So we'll make our rounds, you guys. Have an amazing, amazing week. Look at your numbers, know what's going to move the needle in your business. And as always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision. Let's make this week a week that truly matters. Peace and love, my friends.